Hello and welcome to Off the Shelf Reviews. It's Gaming Friday. I'm Gary.
And I'm new to this game.
And this is Parasite Eve.
Ooh.
Ian, ever since we've started recording video games and talking about them on the show,
Yeah.
one of the first games I ever wanted to talk about and revisit is Parasite Eve. And this is such an odd game, and it's a genre of game which hasn't really been too successful.
Right,
and
okay.
it is the merging of survival horror
Yeah.
with action, gunplay, RPG level up systems.
Yeah, okay.
And who better to do that than Square?
Yeah.
Squaresoft, as we know them before they'd become Square Enix. Of course, Square at the time, very successful with the Final Fantasy series.
Yeah, yeah.
But this game is actually a sequel to a book.
Okay.
And on the success of the book and then this game actually spawned a manga comic series. I think it was 2 books.
Right.
There was also a film adaptation, which I actually haven't seen.
Oh.
And then there was the second game, which came out in 1999. It was only a year later.
Yeah.
And then the third game, which was called Third Birthday, which I also haven't played, which came out in 2010.
Wow.
So almost 11 years after the second game. Interestingly as well, though, Parasite Eve never saw a European release. It never, especially never had a UK release.
Yeah.
So you're saying, well, hell, Gary, how did you play this game?
Yeah.
Well, I'll admit it. My PlayStation, almost like everybody that I knew, was cracked.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
hacked.
chipped.
Or chipped.
Chipped.
Chipped was the word we used a lot.
Yeah.
So I had a chipped PlayStation, which meant I could play a lot of games, or I got a lot of PlayStation games for about $5.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And one of those blind purchases, because I'd never even heard of Parasite Eve, and it was given to me on a printed list of games. And I remember getting Parasite Eve and Siphon Filter on the same day.
Yeah.
And my God, I fell in love with Parasite Eve. This is, for me, one of my favorite games of all time.
That's a big statement.
It's a huge statement, and I've not played this game now in a very long time, in at least 15 years.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to revisit it. The characters have stood out to me. It was one of the first games where I ever heard of midichlorians.
I think I've heard of them before.
I think nowadays it sort of determines whether you're good with the Force or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't go in there.
But the midichlorians in this game is what the creature is using to alter the DNA of people in order to awaken something within inside the midichlorians, which is then going to use to make this creature, which will then wipe out human life on the planet.
Right.
And create its own creature system. And here's one of the big things: it's a Christmas game.
It's a Christmas game.
The
Wow.
entire game takes place, I think, over 5-6 days, literally over the entire Christmas period. So it's also seasonal.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
But just look at the graphics.
I know. That's one of the things I'm looking at. 1998.
But it's Square.
Yeah.
And, and for me, they, at the time of the PlayStation, made some of the best looking graphics in games ever. Of course, you get to the standard graphics of games, and it looks very reminiscent of, I don't know, Final Fantasy VII's characters. Except, I don't know, they kind of have fingers-ish instead of just blocks.
I'm getting a big Final Fantasy VIII kind of appeal from this one. You know, the cut sequences, like in Final Fantasy VIII, were gorgeous, beautiful, all that stuff. And then when you got to the game, you know, little bit ropey here and there with the arms and stuff like that, but I look past that because I'm like, now we are actually in the game.
Yes,
you know, we are in the game, and looking at you were able to name your own character there.
A very Square-ish kind of concept. You always name your characters, but this was because there's no dialogue, there's no voices, so it's all text-based dialogue.
Yeah, but you imagine the thing, and you start to imagine in your head what the characters will sound like.
Yes,
you know.
Yeah.
I even had my dad get the best seats for us tonight. Man, you're gonna end up in shit.
So line up, we're gonna have a great time. You'll see. Oh, we are gonna have a great time. People gonna die.
Yep.
If I do remember rightly, there is a sprint. Yep. And I'm pretty sure there was a trash can around here somewhere which just kept spewing out ammo. Or I think if you go back to the police car, I think you can just keep topping up on ammo. It's sort of one of the few things I remember. I just know that replaying this game, I'm just going to constantly go, memories. That's where that creature is. That's where the items are.
Yeah, find a ribbon so you can save, and the green herbs and stuff like that.
No, this isn't Resident Evil.
Oh, right, sorry, I got confused.
Well, of course, I mean, Resident Evil, it's fine that you bring up Resident Evil, because Resident Evil was a survival horror game, which then, as it's gone on, has really dropped the survival horror and gone into action, gung-ho, over-the-top action movie nature.
Yeah, well, I think they're bringing back the survival horror for Resident Evil 7.
Well, at the moment, I still, as much as I know about the game, is it's a VR first-person horror experience.
Yeah.
So yes, the survival horror is there again, and the real fear of being in a virtual space, I think, is fucking awesome idea. But I don't know how much of an audience it's going to get. I don't know whether Resident Evil will work without a VR headset, with just a controller, because Resident Evil is not a first-person game. But you know, it is interesting that they would now try something different.
Well, we say try something different. I mean, we brought it up in one of our other reviews. Was Resident Evil Survivor?
Yes,
which was a light gun game, which was a first-person shooter.
Yeah,
you know, and that game had a lot of survival horror aspects, and it always brings me up with looking at Resident Evil 7. It reminds me a lot of Condemned.
Okay.
And Condemned was
a first-person
survival horror game.
But it also had its action moments
where
ammo and weapons were limited.
Yeah, I mean, after Resident Evil 3, you know, they were like, oh, we've got to change this, so they made it more action dynamic, and then they went a little bit too far with Chris and all the companions he's got. You know, going back to this game, though...
You play a cop.
Yeah.
You're part of the NYPD.
Yeah, and
here we go.
And you're deep in the shit, you know.
Almost, well, literally from the get-go. This is probably the first opera I ever went to in a video game as well.
That's a tight top she's wearing there.
Well, it's a Square Enix character, you know.
We're getting a bit of a
recognizes Eve.
Psychic
Obviously,
connection.
The character you play, Aya, she's got a very high midichlorian count.
Right. Okay.
So it makes her very powerful and is unaffected by. I call her Eve.
Yeah.
Who is the mother of the creature, essentially.
She's just set fire to those people.
Well, they kind of spontaneously combusted because of their midichlorians.
Right, okay then. So she's using the dark side to kill these people.
Essentially, yes. And again, on the PlayStation, I'd never seen this much death. I mean, look at all these people that are hanging off the side of the banister there, just in flames. And
that's it. The game's literally just dropped you right in. No explanation. You've pressed start. You go into the opera, and all of a sudden, all this shit's kicked off.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what I've always loved about, I suppose, old PlayStation games, where they didn't tell you any story at the start. They kind of just dropped you in, and you had to learn it yourself.
Yeah.
You know, if you decided to quit the game halfway through, it was because you couldn't handle not knowing. You know, you had to. If you wanted to find out, you had to work for it.
Yeah. Okay, so because the fear is overwhelming, I am going to go running outside to go and get some extra ammo, just in case the first creature that I come across does.
Kick your ass.
It doesn't go very well.
Yeah.
Can I investigate the body?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
brought up your menu.
Brought up the menu. So I think which button did that?
Triangle. I'm going to say triangle.
Okay, so we can see that we're level 1. Next level is level 3. Yeah, that makes sense. So you can see I've got a gun equipped. I've got armor equipped. There's a sort of a VATS type system in the combat where you sort of stop the combat dead. So combat plays out in real time.
Yeah.
But you can sort of stop combat and take free shots at the enemy.
Oh wow!
With sort of a charged up meter. That's how I remember it anyway. It was the trash can. I'm gonna go check the cop car. Was there a cop car down here? I am going from memory here. I think it might have been the trash bin then.
I'm hoping you're not thinking Parasite Eve 2.
Well, it could be Parasite Eve 2. Parasite Eve 2 did actually get a UK release, but again, I don't know. Okay, I was sure that there was ammo out here. I was sure of it. But
before you go fighting the boss, maybe bring up your weapon so you know what
stuck on the corpse.
what brings up your gun and what fires.
Well, we'll figure it out. It'll happen. It'll play itself out. It's because it's going back to PlayStation controls again.
Yeah.
With the X button and the A button and yeah.
Yeah, it's not like It's not like Titanfall 2, is it, Gary?
Well, no. No. So, but I do remember that when we get to the backstage, there is another one of my favorite transformation sequences of sort of every new enemy that you come across in the game. They get introduced by a glorious cut sequence where you see how they've animated and changed.
You can see that this game probably got a lot of inspiration from Resident Evil 1.
Oh yeah.
You know, by like in Resident Evil 1, like I said, you know, it's just literally drop you in.
Yeah.
And you've got to go investigate. You've literally started. 100 people have just been burnt alive. Here's your gun. Now you've got to go and investigate. And
okay, so I think I'm in combat.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. So that's sort of my range.
Okay.
She is in range, so I think I can target her. And so
Bang,
one shot, and she just laughs it off. So I think you.
What is the? I mean,
it's getting hot.
So you've got AT at the top.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is your experience level.
Yeah.
45 is your health, and then PE. Parasite Eve.
Yeah, I think the AT at the top is when that charges up. Then I can do my freeze time and attack.
Ah, nice.
And so yeah, I'm just choosing up one bullet because that's all I can do in one attack.
Dodge the green blast.
As I said, it's then in real-time combat where you have to avoid the creature. And now my bar's filled again, so
right in the face. Right in the face.
And another shot. Bang. Okay.
Oh, two shots then.
Yeah,
that was good.
I don't know whether it was one shot that became a critical shot. It's been a long time since I've played it.
I got 9
I know
there.
I'm very quickly
nice.
running out of ammo.
Bodies are communicating with each other through text messaging.
What? Communicating? What do you want?
The more you use that power, the more you will become like me.
Power? What power?
Eve
power.
Eve?
I'm surprised you don't know me. You should know me well. I think there was like a sisterish type relationship, or their genes were similar. Or
okay.
Towards the end of the game, it got very convoluted, and Parasite Eve 2 even more so.
Yeah.
Where it was like, what is actually going on? Do I need to read the manga? Do I need to watch the film? But I will say, Parasite Eve 2 is probably a better game in terms of there's more environments, there's more enemies, there's You also go back to the police precinct a lot more.
Right.
And there's a lot more characters, interactions that you have with, and they give you better weapons and upgrades and help you level up and whatnot. So here we go. I think we're now gonna.
Oh, you defeat the first boss. I suppose.
And so what I'd also like is, again, very similar to Resident Evil, is the pre-rendered backgrounds.
Yes.
Which is, so it's one camera angle, one image.
Yeah.
And then everything else, so monsters and characters all being animated.
And stuff. I don't know if you can go to that.
Yeah, there is.
I
am trying to. No, all right. So backup has arrived outside now. So now I can go outside and go and get all the ammo from the backup.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm pretty sure that's how it was. But because of the interest of time, I'm not going to go running all the way back now. We're going to jump down. We don't need backup.
She's not going to change out that dress, which is completely difficult to try and fight in. But you know, she's a very attractive lady.
Yeah, for a small polygon count character.
Yeah, but, I mean, the thing is,
it's definitely the dress and the heels.
I'm surprised they haven't made this into like you said, they made it into a film.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming CGI, manga, computer graphics.
I don't even know. I had a very short amount of prep time for this game because I'm just like, I'm going to do Parasite Eve. I've always wanted to do it.
But I mean, we're on what now? 7th Resident Evil movie coming out,
or the 6th or 7th? It's possibly
but there's at least been 6 or 7 Resident Evil films released that have little to no connection with the games as they go. Yeah. Where something like this, the way this game started, would have made a great film.
I absolutely think so. I'm screaming at Square to reboot this franchise. Let's remake this game. I mean, this cut sequence still looks amazing.
Yeah, it does look really good.
And
that
it's
rat's
horrific.
Not having a good day.
I can wait for his eye just to droop down and his mouth to extend. I remember this cutscene so much. This was a game where I just got people to come around and go, have you never heard of Parasite Eve? Watch this cut sequence.
Yeah,
look at it.
God, he's having a bad day.
He's having a real bad day. There's the eye droop. I always remember that. And the talent. Oh my god.
You're going to have to fight this?
Now I have to fight. This is just one generic enemy. This is the most basic enemy that you fight.
Oh my god. He is... It's like the thing. It's like the thing's
Yeah, well,
just
totally.
completely just woken up inside him.
And I remember what I like is that there are a lot of open environments, a lot of open levels.
Nice.
Oh, look, we just
Nice.
obliterated him.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 XP. We actually picked up some ammo. I also have a melee weapon, which I don't know. I guess if you're one of those die-hard Dark Souls players, you might just want to do the entire game with the police baton.
Is it advisable to?
I don't know. Well, the game does offer a New Game Plus.
Oh, that's good.
Which does increase the difficulty of every monster, but it does also mean you get to keep some of your items. I think your XP and everything gets reset to 0, but I think all the items you get to carry over.
Yeah.
Which does add an extra challenge to the game.
What those games remind me of as well is Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis, yeah, another Capcom
Yeah.
game, but replaced zombies with dinosaurs.
And it, like I said, it's that whole aspect of dropping you in and you having to investigate everything. So like you wouldn't. If there's nothing else in this room, you probably on your new game not even bother going in there to meet the clown.
No. Well, then again, I think there's a lot of rooms that you want to go in and check for items.
Yeah.
But of course, yeah. Again, if you're on a power run or if you've got lots of ammo, you kind of don't need to. Can I open every one of these? I'm trying to remember.
I like the fact as well that you can actually
Yes.
get her in the reflection as well in the mirror.
Yeah.
So somebody took the time to.
Well, is she? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, there
there
she
she
is.
is.
There. Yeah, so it's an actual reflective surface.
Yeah, it's like wow, we're talking 1998. Square was not messing around when they put the time and effort into this game.
Absolutely.
Which annoys me as well is when who decided that this was not going to get a UK release?
I have no idea, but whoever it was needs to be shot, because this is an absolute shame that I think this franchise, like I said, when Parasite Eve 2 came out, no one even knew what it was. They were like, a second one? Where's the first one? I can't get it? Oh, well. I know nobody that played these games. Nobody. And I was like, it's genius. It's the RPG elements, the survival horror, Square's leveling up system and exploration.
Yeah.
Gathering items and...
I mean, I love the fact you open that logo. There was no sparkly little thing to tell you it's in there.
No, you just had to search again.
You just have to search every single locker to see.
Oh, he's still alive. Help's coming. Backup is on the way.
He's still alive? Hold on.
Let me call the paramedics.
Melissa.
She's a monster.
No shit.
Melissa, I guess, was the actress that I call Eve.
Yeah.
And
well, the game called her Eve as well.
Yeah. But there are some great environments. One of my favourite levels in the game is when you go into a museum. And it's interesting that you mentioned Dino Crisis. That the museum just happens to have a dinosaur exhibit.
Nice.
Which does, of course, turn all of the exhibits into monsters. They kind of get half flesh and bone.
Oh.
Including the T-Rex.
Nice.
Which turns into the museum's boss level, which chases you throughout the game because it's a pretty tough creature to fight.
Yeah.
But of course, by then you've got shotguns, machine guns, and if you're really good, I think you'll have the rocket launcher as well.
Can't go wrong with rocket launcher.
Can't go wrong with the rocket launcher. I remember there's a huge final set piece where I think you're on the aircraft carrier and you're fighting by the Statue of Liberty, and Eve turns into a giant monster, and it's a multi-tier boss battle. It's so good, so memorable. And the other thing as well is this game's music. I think, have you pinned me in here? Can I get out?
Yeah, you go run around.
Yeah, I want to get to the answer machine. This game's music was spectacular. It's one of the things I remember the most is the music. And I think the music actually got released. I think it got 2 CDs released. 2 albums were released on the back of this game. And the music is just perfect. I like every Square game, really.
Yeah,
It needs to be top.
You can't answer that answer machine?
I tried to get to it, but it doesn't seem to be. I think it's just part of the scenery.
Yeah, well...
It seems interactable, but it's actually not.
Well...
So, we're going to carry on. There's one thing I forgot was the terrain that does block your movement.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those irritating things where there's a slight dint in the curb, so you have to go all the way around the road in order to step onto the pavement. So that's locked as well. Now, I'm trying to remember, there is a way out. I think I have to go further into the basement again.
Yeah.
I think it might have been in the clothes rack back there.
Oh.
Or is... Oh, it's another fight. It's a typical Final Fantasy-esque. You fight one monster and then other monsters will just appear.
Nice.
Which does mean that you can farm areas for experience and to level up. And in a game like this, you absolutely have to do it because if you go to the next area, you probably get your ass handed to you by the next set of monsters. I think that became the case even more so with Silent Hill 2. where I literally spent hours just going back and leveling up, and I think
Parasite Eve 2.
Parasite Eve 2.
I was going to
yes.
say Silent Hill 2 didn't have a leveling up
yeah,
sequence.
jumping into all of my survival horror games. But yeah, you literally. But I think it was you level up. But I also think you also level up your proficiency with guns,
Right. Okay.
which was different. So that the more you used the shotgun, the better you got with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what's the save feature in this game? I mean, obviously, Resident Evil was a typewriter.
I honestly I can't remember. I think you had unlimited saves, but I think it's when you just got to a save location.
Yeah.
Um,
You're trying to remember where to go, aren't you?
I'm trying to remember where to go. Yeah, it's a case of it's old school. It's explore.
It's going to be that answering machine. That answering machine will tell us where the key is for the door, and we just go stand there and just keep pressing X near that location.
I can't remember if it was the clothing that I've got to move or. I have. Oh no, so it was not in here.
No, it's further
No.
on, all the way to the end.
Right. Okay, so this one, that one's locked as well. So it
But
was the end door.
The hours you would spend in a game like this trying
That's one
to
of the
just...
other reasons why I loved it so much was because it wasn't just to play it for 10 minutes, 20 minutes and move on. I just kept playing it.
Yeah.
There was more to play, and there was more to play after completing it. Okay, no, it was just the medicine that was
That's
back
the
here.
medicine. X is the interaction, right?
Yeah, oh, no, I knew there was something. I knew there was something with his clothing.
Hot, 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 hell. It's a parrot.
And now will it engulf in flames and die? Can I
Shoot it.
shoot it?
Nope.
No. Is there anything else back here?
Does the parrot normally do anything?
I'm trying to remember from 15 years ago. And
Oh, God. This is why we don't drink. Well, we do.
yeah. Well, yeah. All right. So maybe when I go to leave the room, it does something. When I can leave the room, no. Will it chase me back out?
It would, yeah. Is it going to come out and...
Does it carry the key?
Nope.
No.
Nope. It's locked.
It's locked. Yeah. Okay. So do I go?
You need to find the sword key, Gary.
I need to find the spade key.
Oh.
It's landed.
He's lying it down.
Okay. Now.
Now interact him.
No.
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 Just makes a noise.
See, now this is why another reason why I stopped playing Final Fantasy VIII. See, Final Fantasy VII was pretty straightforward where you had to go and things like that. And Final Fantasy VIII,
Linear game. Yeah.
yeah, Final Fantasy VIII, there was a lot more depth to it, and I would get lost.
Yeah.
I would get lost, and
Huge sprawling maps.
yeah, the most simplest things would I'd miss,
Yeah.
and I'd spend hours looking for it, and that was it.
I mean, right now you're seeing me wandering around trying to figure out again where it was I was supposed to go. But maybe I'm just farming, leveling up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
There's a massive method to the madness.
Yes. I'm gonna hit that one. I can't reach him. He's out of range. Oh no, I did get him. But I was out of range, so I didn't do too much damage.
Yeah,
Now I'm in trouble.
that's all right. You got good health.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going from 45 up to 49.
And shoot.
What was
shoot.
the max level you ever got her to?
I really can't remember. I don't know if there is a level cap, or if you just get up to like roughly level 30 or 40, and then it comes
And
to
then
its
she's
end.
just badass. She just run outside to the police car and get more gun ammo.
I should do. I can't remember if the story actually requires me now to go back outside, to just go, hey, there's trouble in there, everyone's dead. But I do remember going down further.
Well, that's it. I mean, you've been pressing X by that answering machine. It's not doing anything. The parrots just... So that's my attitude is, right, I'm definitely not going that way. I'm going to try this way. And if that doesn't work, then I'll go online and find out where I'm going to go.
Yeah. as I said to you just before we got into recording this video, I think once I've done recording the game, I think I'm just going to go back and play it.
Yeah?
It's been so long since I played the game. I missed this game. And there's no reboot on its way, so...
Yeah. HD remake would be nice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the chance to give people... I mean, I think people
Sure,
nowadays...
there's also an item along here somewhere.
Nowadays, you know, playing games is actually more liked now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I was only thinking this a couple of days ago, is if you said when you were younger, if you said to people, oh, I play computer games, you were kind of shunned.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
because it was a different generation back then. It was like, oh, you don't want to be sat indoors playing computer games. You need to be outside in the sunshine, enjoying it, enjoying life, and all that stuff. Now it's completely opposite.
Well, to an extent, yeah.
If somebody says to you, "Oh, I don't play computer games," you just look at them like, "What? What are you on about?" You know.
But it was because it was a case of I was a big fan of horror movies, and and this game has a story. There's lots of dialogue. Resident Evil is great,
Yeah.
but there's not that much story to it. You kind of find the memoirs and the notes, and there's not that much character interaction. There's not that much dialogue. Whereas this game has an air of a mystery to it as well.
Yeah.
A sci-fi feel to
Well,
it.
you say that. I mean, Resident Evil 2 started getting really deep.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure this came out probably just after Resident Evil 2. Why don't you have injuries? Don't ask me. I'm full of metachlorian.
We don't know about that yet. Gonna go to the museum and go to the science area. Oh, there we go. Guns.
Ooh, wow.
Bullets. Yeah,
More
bullets. Bullets and more bullets.
So it wasn't the police car, it was some policeman outside, guy.
Ah, he's out of gun. Out of bullets. So, I always remember it was that trash can that gave me bullets, but it was not. It was the cop over there. So, okay, so didn't get any extra ammo there.
And no
didn't get
key,
any extra key.
no
Any
knowledge
backup.
or anything. So we're heading back to the phone.
Back to the
answer
answer machine.
machine.
Yeah. Maybe I just didn't press all the buttons, or maybe there's just something that I just didn't find, and then afterwards I'll shoot myself for going, oh, why did I forget that? And people are already leaving notes in the comment section going, oh, Gary, you idiot! All you had to do was shoot the parrot, and he had the key inside him. And
Yeah, but it's not activating like that. With the other fights, it activates.
it does, yeah.
Can you go up the stairs?
I think I can, but I don't think there's anything up there. And then that's when somebody goes, that's where it was the whole time. It was up there. On the stands.
Why doesn't he listen to Ian more when he plays these computer games?
Because I'm right, you're wrong, Ian. Right? Right.
You carry on like that, I'll make you play Catherine again.
Oh, God, no. No. I'm never going to play that game again. I want to delete that off our playlist. I don't want anyone ever to listen to that. If this is the first time you've ever heard of it, I've just done the thing I didn't want to have happen.
All the way to the end of the corridor. Check
All
the
the way to
answer
the
machine.
Alright, I'll go there and push some buttons again.
You'll probably get into a fight as soon as you cut to the
Probably,
next sequence.
yeah.
There
Oh,
we
yeah,
go. I played enough Final Fantasy games.
to know when the combat's going to ensue. Shoot it!
86
I've
bullets.
got so much ammo now.
Wow.
I mean, that was a trick that I had since I never had this game, and having all that ammo at the start, it just means you can go and grind and level up and get it done. All right, back in that double door. I'm sure I'm missing something in one of the other doors. I'm sure of it.
Well, yeah, but with these games, like I said, pre-rendered backgrounds.
I didn't want to go in the door.
Pre-rendered backgrounds, there's nothing going on. But when you notice the slight colorization, you're like,
It stands out.
yeah, that's something. That's
Yeah.
something there, you know.
Okay, I'm stuck around the back of the chair. It's got a bigger hitbox than.
So hitting the button, no, nothing on there. Not
No.
interacting.
I'm sure there is an answer machine or a message.
Oh,
There we
there
go.
we go. Will you save your
Hooray!
progress?
So that's what it was. It was the save game. You can use the phone, ring in the HQ, just checking in. Oh, my memory card.
Yeah, no memory card.
Ah,
I'll have to
I have
format.
to go out and buy another one.
Yeah. Right, okay, so, and the parrot? Anything with the parrot?
No.
Hot, help.
Anything else?
Nope.
I'm gonna say it again. Is it not just gonna explode into a fireball? Dramatic stuff here.
Yeah,
This is actually a really good game, everyone. Oh look, it was the chest, the cabinet. I can store items
you
here,
can store
Resident Evil
items in
style.
there.
Yeah. So
Right, but that still doesn't help us get past that locked door.
it doesn't. No.
And I'm beginning to question if we're supposed to get past that locked door now.
Probably not. No. And this is how the exciting story of Parasite Eve comes to an end. She could not get past the locked door.
Damn locked doors.
So we're just about reaching time here. So unfortunately, it's not as dramatic as I.
No, but you know what you're going to have to do in the new year? You're going to have to do a sequential playthrough of this. You're gonna
I don't know.
have to.
There's a lot of grinding to go in this game.
But that's the point. Like you said, you want to you want to show this game off to people who've never played it.
Yeah.
Me being one of them.
Yeah.
You know, you want to show that okay, you may get stuck running around searching for these items, but this is what it was like back in the day.
Yeah.
You know,
there was no game facts.
there was no games facts. There was no internet. You waited monthly for that magazine to come out and hope that somebody had done something in the game to help you get past those parts.
Well, I hope people had better luck getting past the opening 10 minutes of the game than I did.
You got into a few battles.
Yeah,
You know?
I killed the rat things over and over again.
Leveled yourself up.
yeah. What am I missing?
I don't know. Well, while you were searching for whatever is going to get us to the next level, I'm just going to thank everybody for watching, everybody for tuning in. Our film requests go up on Thursdays. We have new game reviews going up on Fridays, and Gary may have time to do this in the future, or he may just crawl into bed now and cry
I'm
himself
never
to
getting
sleep.
out of the opera theatre, am I? I'm never getting out of here. Oh my
Telling you, it's
God.
those stairs, man. You should. It's those stairs.
Let me out. Let me out. I don't want to spend Christmas down here. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. God damn it.